Welcome back to the GTM World, the podcast where we go deep on go-to-market strategy, the tools, the data, and the people building the future of B2B. I'm your host, Ammar Ahmad, and today I have a really exciting guest with me. He is the co-founder and CSO of AI Ark, a B2B data platform that's redefining how revenue teams find, qualify, and reach their ideal customers using AI. Hamied Elias Kermani, welcome to the GTM World podcast. Great to have you, man.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
But my player. So let's jump straight to the questions. And my first question is going to be, Hamied, let's start simple. In one sentence, what is AI Ark actually built to do and who is it for?
Yeah, so thanks for this question and for inviting us. So in one sentence, we as ourselves, our history is agency business. So me and my co-founder Brian, we started an outbound marketing agency 8 years ago. We were struggling with data, with good data, with valid emails for a good price. So in the first instance, AI Ark is built for outbound agencies who are looking for fresher data and valid emails.
I love that clarity. So now that we know what it is, let's get inside the product for a second. Walk me through the core workflow inside AI Ark from the moment someone starts a search to the moment they have a usable list, man.
So let me share my screen for this.
Yep, sure, go on.
So we are not only a B2B database, we also provide valid emails. We have a company lookalike search. We have mobile phone numbers and everything also available via API or MCP server. As you know, Ammar, many people right now are using Cloud Code, so they integrate our API directly and our MCP server directly into Cloud. So, but let me show you it in the platform. So one of the workflows that how many of our clients are using it is for example, let's say Nike.com is their best client. So they just type in Nike.com in the company search. And the AI will now find companies that are very similar to Nike based on the website of Nike, the company description, and many other filters that we have for each company. As you can see here, we know the product and services Nike is selling, the product company overview, the industry tags, the codes here. And now I can say, okay, I'm looking for companies like Nike. Let's go, for example, to the first one here. But I want to make sure they really sell footwear. So I say include footwear as a product and service to the existing search. So now you see it filters for companies similar to Nike, but they have footwear as a product and service. Now I can also add, of course, location and many other things. One thing that our clients are liking a lot, and which is now quite new, is you can search for how many people they have per department.
Nice.
So you can only say, hey, I'm looking for companies with X amount of employees. But now you can say, I'm looking for companies like Nike who have a business development team with at least 10 people.
More specific.
So if I now, for example, go to this company, and we can go into the overview here, and we scroll down, you can see here, we have the departments, department insights, and then here we have business development, 29 people. So that way now, as an example, you have a software that is ideal for business development managers and you need at least 10 seats, you can now sell to these companies. Now, once you have the companies you like, you can simply select them, click on this button, find people, and it will show you the people working in these companies. And again, one thing that our customers are really appreciating is that everything is available via API. Like every filter, there's no limitation on the API level. And once you have the people in these companies, you can obviously filter them based on job role, keywords. But there are a few things that I want to highlight, which is this one. So usually our customers are using Apollo or they used Lucia or other databases before, and they were used to the filters like job role, industry, company size only. But now in AI Ark, they have something that most people don't know even exists, is a people keyword search. So people keyword search means you can search for certain keywords that these people mention specifically on their personal LinkedIn profile, and even say where in the LinkedIn profile you want to search for these keywords. Like what I like to demonstrate is always cold outbound. Let's say I'm looking for people who mention cold outbound only in their LinkedIn headline. And I can even say I want them to mention it exactly in this order, like cold outbound. So I say word match and then bam. So I go, for example, now to this person, to her LinkedIn profile, and it says sales, and here, sales coaching and cold outbound. So you can search education, volunteering, and even add 300 keywords. Let me show you something very quickly as a workflow. I just had a discussion with a client. He wanted to target Spanish people. He asked me, hey, how can I target people who are originally Spanish or from a certain region? And I told him, hey, we have an option here to search for language skills. But he said, yeah, but there are people also who are not really Spanish, but they're not originally Spanish, but they speak Spanish. Yeah. So the Spanish filter for language wouldn't work ideally. Yeah. So what we did
Yes.
is, and I showed him a workflow. Look at this. Give me 100 names that are mainly used by originally Spanish people, and separate them all by commas, first names only. So you can go, for example, to ChatGPT. It gives you now 100 first names that are mainly used by only Spanish people. I mean, there I see Anna is not only used by Spanish people, but you can fine tune this, obviously. You can then copy them. You can even add 300 if you want. Now you go to this people keyword search that I just showed to you, but you say, I only want to search in the first name. Now you paste all these 100 names, and bam, you would only find people with these first names.
Love it. Love this, man.
And then you can even add the language skill if you want. Yeah. So these are things that you can really not do in other databases, which we made in particular for agencies who want to have very targeted people they want to reach out to. And then they just select the people they like, click on export. And again, everything also available via API. And then they can even say email enrichment, which means every email that we deliver is verified by Bouncepen in the moment you export it. And we only charge in total half a credit for every valid email and half a credit for the basic context storage. And you will only be charged once. So once you export, it will move to the saved records. So these are the workflows that our customers love at AR.
I love it, Tim. And that's a really clean workflow. And what's interesting is the claim behind it, fresher data, smarter matching. So I have to ask you now about the engine under the hood. So you position AI Ark around lookalike discovery and fresher B2B data. What's the technical advantage behind that? And how do you actually keep the data useful over time?
Yeah. So, when we started in 2022, 23, we wanted to build a database similar to Apollo, specifically for agencies. We thought we can build this in 6 months max. This was our plan. Yeah. It took us 2.5 years.
Okay.
And the main reason is not the UI. The main reason is not the email verifier. The main reason was, how can we get fresh data that we can refresh every 30 days? Ammar,
Nice.
it's very simple nowadays to buy one data set. I can now buy one data set for $50,000. I can buy a data set, integrate this into my platform, and sell it to other people. But the challenge is, how do I keep this updated?
Nice.
So we spent more than 2.5 years and more than $1 million. We spent more than $1 million into this research and development project to basically find a way how we can get data from more than 10 different sources, put them together, find the updated data of this particular person who has the freshest data update. Because, we get data from our partners. They usually write down when the last update was. So some are not updating every 30 days. I mean, none of them, usually every 90 days, but it's in a specific cycle. So we take the one that has the latest update. And that way we can guarantee that everyone has been updated every 30 days. And bad profiles who are irrelevant, who we don't know any information anymore, we remove them from the database. And new people who are just, let's say you have a new GTM engineer, and you force them to open, for example, a LinkedIn profile or a GitHub profile. So he is somehow now present on social media. He has a social media presence. Now we will
Exactly.
add this person to our database as well. So we have a clear workflow with more than 10 different sources to keep everything updated, and we guarantee an update every 30 days.
That's some real infrastructure behind this. I love that. So now let's tell me that what bottlenecks does AI Ark solve for outbound marketing or recruiting teams that traditional data platforms are still struggling with today? Like
Yeah.
beyond
So,
these data freshness.
yeah. So freshness, as you just mentioned, as we just talked about, is one of the things. The other thing is how the data is being presented to the user or in the API. So what do I mean by this? Let me just share my screen again to demonstrate
Sure.
this. Okay. So look, if we, for example, see this person here, yeah? So if we go to this person just randomly now, you can see the LinkedIn profile, right, of Patricia. If we look at her LinkedIn profile, do you see that she has multiple active roles? She's the order management manager at this company. She's the order management at this company and at this company. Now,
Exactly.
which company now are you looking or do you want to target? Let's say you want to target Sound United,
Okay,
okay?
go on.
And so it's very like how do databases solve this? Usually databases mix everything. So now this is she has always the same title, right? But let's assume she's a marketing manager at Harman, but an order management manager at Sound United. Just assuming, yeah.
Okay.
Now in other databases, if you now search for a marketing manager at Sounds United, okay, this person would pop up
Okay, so
because
it would be a
she's
bit mixed.
actively working at Sound United
Yeah.
and she's a marketing manager at another company, so she would pop up. Now, how did we solve this? Because how important it is to target the people with the right title in the right organization. So we offered something that other bases don't offer, which is primary active role only. So if someone has
Okay.
multiple active roles on LinkedIn, for example, and many people have multiple active roles, sometimes they are even advisors. Do you know some people? I mean, you maybe as well. You have an expert batch, for example, from Clay, from Smartly. So you add this to
Exactly.
your LinkedIn profile. Now, some people are getting messages, hey, I noticed you're the founder at Smartlead, but he's the founder at his own agency and he's a Smartlead
Exactly.
expert, you know? So,
Got it.
so how do we solve this? We have this toggle here, primary active role only. So it search for founder who are only founders in their primary active role. Now, if I say no, I'm
Nice.
also looking founders who are founders in their secondary role, you turn this off and look what happens. I get now 4.9 million instead of 3.3. And the same thing
Crazy.
is also applicable for the companies. So you can say, I'm looking only for people who are working let's make the Smartlead example, because it was a good one. So here, let me remove the founder one. So Smartlead, people who are actively working in Smartlead as their primary role
I'm
are
more
50
than
people.
50 people.
If I turn this off, 122. Now, other
Okay.
databases will say that Felix is the founder at Smartly, but he isn't, right? So in our system, you can just turn this on and then Felix will disappear, for example. Yeah, so this is one of the things. The
Better
other thing is
comes. Yeah.
this what we also talked about recently is the verified emails. I mean, look, sometimes people tell us, hey, you are charging half a credit for every person, even if we don't find an email. I say yes, but we also charge half a credit only if we find an email and the emails are valid. So our customers, and many of them are exporting more than 1 million people every single month, they obviously made the math. They compared our database price from the price point of view with their other data sources. And since the other data sources not only fresh data, they also do not have valid emails. They have to re-verify the emails using Million Verifier and you name them. They are paying more than if they just have a AI Arc subscription and get verified
Absolutely.
emails right away. So these are the benefits.
Love this. Love all of these benefits. And yep, I got it. So, if in order to conclude this, without naming competitors, if we have to mention one, where does ARC win most clearly? Is it the freshness, ICP precision, speed to list, integrations, or the price to value ratio?
So I mean, all of them are correct, and in all of them, we have benefits. Integrations is something we are right now improving. We will integrate with Email Bison, Smartlead, and HubSpot, and so on. But I want to choose another thing beside these things. And do you know what this is? This is the way we provide customer support with all the customer. Because look, we are an agency ourselves. This is our basically history, and we are from this game, we are from this space, so we are from this GTM. I mean, I have more than 5 GTM engineers in my team. I'm talking to them daily, so I'm from this game. So what do I mean by this? If you have a problem as a customer, you can reach out to us, not only from the data point of view, we will provide support, but even how can you improve your deliverability. I just had a call right before our meeting here with a customer whom now I helped to use, for example, Master Inbox from Abdul because he was struggling. I introduced him to Abdul so he can use Master Inbox from Abdul
Love
in
that,
order
man.
to optimize. So this is,
Yep.
I would say, the thing that is better using as an agency, using ARC than the other databases, besides better pricing, but fresher data, valid emails, and so on.
Love this. Hamied, this has been a fantastic conversation and you named every single thing I was expecting. So
Thank
what
you.
you and the team have built with AI Ark is genuinely impressive. And I think anyone in sales, marketing or RevOps listening to this should go check it out. For everyone tuning in, you can find AI Ark at aark.com if you want fresher data, smarter ICP matching, and a platform that actually keeps up with your pipeline. Go take a look. Amit, thank you so much for being on GTM World Podcast. It's been a pleasure. And to our audience, thank you for watching. If you find value in this episode, share it with your team, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us for more conversations like this one. I'm Ammar Ahmad, and this has been GTM World. See you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.